Hey there! Welcome back to another episode of New Beginnings. Last episode, I said to you guys, how would you like me to do Psy? Would you like me to go through it step by step, explain how everything works, do an entire episode on just getting through the tutorial? Someone said they would still like me to show everything on camera, or at least the solutions to the problems in it to get through the tutorial and finish the tutorial. And I don't really want to dedicate entire episodes to Psy, so I've come up with sort of a compromise. At the beginning of every episode, not this episode, but we will still go through a tutorial. At the beginning of every episode, I will go and do a tutorial off camera and try and make the spell out of it. And we will see if it fails or succeeds. If it succeeds, I can explain it to you and how it works. If it fails, then we might get a good laugh out of it or just see it fail. And then I will go off camera, actually fix the spell, come back on camera, and explain the spell. So no matter what, I am still explaining the spell and how to get through the tutorial. But today's goal is going to be more focused on Botania. I want to up the mana generation, I want to sort of help the crops over there, and maybe a little bit of a cool little other feature. But for now, I want to get into Psy. And you may notice we are on level 6 Blockworks, and there was another level 6 called Alternative Casting. I accidentally did Alternative Casting already. I was going through the tutorial, I was going to do it, and when I clicked on the spell programmer with the CAD, it casted the spell, instantly made me do it, instantly made me learn another level, so I can't really show you, and for some reason it also cleared the board. For some reason, you can still see that it says level 6 right here at the bottom. It cleared the board, so I'm not really sure about that, but for right now, level 6 is Blockworks, and we have to use a trick for a block breaking sequence. So that will be very interesting. So this next spell is going to focus on block breaking, which might be very interesting for the log farm over there. But give me a second, I'm going to do this off camera, bring you back and give you an example and explain how the spell works. I just explained that really terribly. Let's try that again. So we have the selector, the caster, that is us. We also have the entity look position, which goes off the vector raycast. So where we're looking is where the spell will get cast. That is the vector raycast spell, or the vector raycast operator. It will go where we're looking, and it starts at the entity position where the caster is. So where we're looking, the spell will go out and use the trick, the break block sequence, which has a power of 5. Again, if we make this, or the power of 5, the max of 5. So it will break up to, I think, a max of 5 blocks, right? So it'll break up to a max of 5 blocks, and the position will be where the spell ends, and the target is where we have the X, Y, and Z. So the target from where the spell lands will go up 8. So the max amount of blocks we can break is either 5 or 8. Let's double check that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's try and cast the spell at it. We will see if it's 5 or 8. It is 5, so yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it'll only break a max of 5, and of course, when you become better and you get a better Psy guns, you can obviously make this number higher and break a better amount of blocks. But for right now, that does what it needs to do, and it will break our blocks. Alright, so now to get into the Botania portion of the episode, which is fixing up our mana and playing around with a cool little new flower. So with our Lexa Botania in hand, I want to start off by making the Kekomoris, and the Kekomoris, or Kekomoris, or however you want to pronounce it, the Kekomoris, is a flower that will eat cake and produce mana, and I want to put this up against an Endoflame in terms of how much each of them produce. So let's make a Kekomoris in the Petal Apothecary, which we need a pixie dust, a rune of gluttony, 2 brown petals, 2 orange petals, 2 white petals. So how do we get some pixie dust? Well, we can come over here to the Alpine portal, throw in a mana pearl, and they will give us a magical little pixie dust. So we can throw the pixie dust in there, we can throw our 2 browns, a 2 orange, 2 white, and our rune of gluttony in there, and we can make ourselves a Kekomoris. So let's throw in the seed, get ourselves a Kekimoris, or Kekomoris, or however you want to pronounce this, and I have a cake on hand. I want to put put these both up to the test and see which one generates more mana. So we have our wand. We also need a fuel source for the the endo flame to actually eat up, so we need a piece of coal as well. We're going to go off by 1 and 1. So for the endo flame, hold on, let's just weather clear. You guys did not say if I can do that or not, but I'm going to do that since it's the middle of the day, no more rain. So, we have the endo flame with 0 mana in it, and we have the Kekomoris with 0 in it. So let's throw a piece of coal down, let the endo flame eat it up. Oh, does it need a mana spreader? Okay, fine. Fine. Boop, boop. Oh, is my wand broken again? Nope, there it goes. Okay, so how much did that get? Let's wait for it to finish and we can see how much exactly that got. It's about 1 bar. It's going past 1 bar. We're getting about 1.5 bars. We're approaching halfway of the mana spreader. Okay, so this might be a full bar of the mana spreader. Let's make ourselves another mana pool just in case so we can get a better reading on it and we can reset the mana pool by itself. I just want a clear and proper reading of how much the Kekomoris will actually be bringing us. So there we go. The mana spreader. Okay, so that looked like it was about 3 bars on the mana spreader, and the mana pool is a very, very small amount. Okay, so let's break both of these, and then we're going to actually try the Kekomoris. So let's place down the mana spreader again, and place down the mana pool, and bind these to each other, bind the cake, pick up the endo flame just in case something falls out of my inventory that will power it, throw the cake down for the Kekomoris, and wait for it to eat up. Eat up, please. Please. Does it need to be placed down? Hold on. Kekomoris. Cake is delicious. Everyone loves it, flowers included. The Kekomoris is one of these cakes aficionados and will eat anything or any it spots nearby using an... Okay, so maybe we do need to place it. No worries if I place it. We have plenty of resources over there to actually get more cake. So, place it down. Okay, and it does eat, and it is producing, and it seems like it is producing a massive amount of mana. Let's see, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna sit here for a second, see how much cake this is going to use, and then be back with you to get a proper rating. So, already, it sort of seems like it's doing more than the endo flame, but we can only sort of be sure when it is completely done the cake and filling out the mana. So I know it doesn't really look like it, but the Kekomoris did generate more mana than the endo flame in general, and I know it doesn't look like it in the mana pool, but it certainly did, so we might end up using the Kekomoris as our main source as of fuel for right now. I was looking around and someone did suggest the Munch Dew. The problem with the Munch Dew is it goes off leaves, placed leaf blocks, and that will either, in this setup, either be a very big hassle or how it was when we were generating coal or charcoal for the endo flames, which was pretty much just another hassle with growing trees and then automatically cutting them down and yada yada yada. I think the Kekomoris and the endo flames might be our best 2 options. We have plenty of coal is always being made. And we have plenty of options for cake, and again, weather clear, because this stupid map completely just rains on my parade all of the time, like every single minute of the day. So, the Kekomoris and the Endoflame are probably our 2 best bets for automatic generation right now. As always, we can just come over here, cake, and I can place a crafting bench, like, right here. Let's just, like, actually make one and place it down. I can always, that is always the option to just have a crafting station right here for me to be ready to mass produce cakes. That is not an issue. So I believe the Endoflame and the Kekomoris will become our 2 main sources of mana generation. The Kekomoris might be a little bit harder to upkeep, but it is worth it more in terms of general mana and less clutter. Alright, so moving on, I want to help us with the farms over there, which starts with the Agricarnation. And the Agricarnation's description is, the slow growth of crops is always a problem to feed the masses. The Agricarnation is a flower that turns mana into a type of natural fertilizer, causing nearby plant life to grow at a faster rate. Okay, and we need a redstone root, a rune of spring, a yellow, and some green. That is no big deal, but how are we going to transport our mana from over there, or from over here, to over there? Well, I'm glad you asked, but you probably didn't ask, so I'm going to say, I'm going to assume you asked anyway. Thanks for asking. We want to make a let's try and pronounce this. Spectrum the mum. I don't know. I'm just going to call it Spectra. So we want to create a Spectra flower, which is a transportation item. So transporting items as a long distance is an arduous task. Water channels and daffodils won't cut it. Daffodils are pretty much the equivalent of a fan. We tried to use them up there, but I realized there wasn't any items and didn't push mobs. So the Spectra will, at the cost of mana, wraps around the fabric of reality and any dropped items that do not contain mana around it, teleporting them somewhere else in the world. After teleporting once, another use of these flowers can't be used for the same item. So pretty much what it says is if we drop a flower on it, it cannot teleport the same item. Now I'm hoping that this can be counteracted, or else our plan's ruined, that it can be counteracted by, say if we have a flower down, right? And I want to transport a piece of bread to over there. If I throw it down and it transports the piece of bread, I know I can't throw down another piece of bread and it will transport it. But what I'm hoping it will do is if I throw down a piece of bread and it transports it, I can then throw down another item, it transports that item, and then when it has done that, I can throw down a piece of bread or whatever else I want to again. So the same item I transported in the first place to get teleported over there. So what do we need to actually craft the Spectra? My computer just made a weird and spooky noise. Sorry about the cut. So we need 2 whites, 2 grays, a cyan, a rune of envy, a rune of water, a redstone root, and another pixie dust. So that's not a bad thing. We have a mana pearl. We have white. We have gray. Was that light gray? That was light gray. We have light gray. We have gray. We have light gray. I know we have light gray. Tell me if we have light gray. I'm not seeing it, but we can make our own. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. So, we can make our own. Place this down, add some bone meal, and we get ourselves a brand new flower. And we need some shears to actually be able to shear it. Go like that. And then turn it into more petals. Place down 2 more. And rinse and repeat, and we can get ourselves a whole bunch of new flowers. Let's place that back down in there. And let's get some white. And I know we have a cyan, so let's grab the cyan and the redstone root, which was a piece of grass, which I think I have around here still. I know I picked up a little, yep, there we go. That and a piece of redstone, which should be in there. So this and that together makes our redstone root. And then our rune of water, which I think I already picked up. Nope. And a rune of envy, which is a rune of winter, a rune of water, and 2 mana diamonds. So water and winter. I know I have a winter one in here somewhere. I used it before. Winter. And then 2 mana diamonds, which we already have, so we just have to come back over here to the altar, go like this, go like that, go like these, and then it will start crafting up for us when we aim that there. That there. Start working. Start working. You don't have any mana. Oh, you don't have any mana in you because you're not generating. Okay, let's make you generate some mana. Eat. Eat. Give me my mana needed for my machines to work. Okay. Why aren't you actually working though? Nope, you are working. Okay, very, very slowly. Okay, see you back when this process is done. And then we can create the... I forgot which one we were creating even. the Spectra flower. Okay, first flower, the Spectrus. So this, let's see, that, those, these, rune of envy, and a rune of water, and then a seed. There we go. Summer, air, 2 mana diamonds. Wait, oops, wrong part. Hold on, back that up a second. Air, summer, 2 mana diamonds, And a Rune of Lust is on the way. Rune of Lust complete. And there is the Polydesiac. Now for the Agricarnation, which is a Rune of Spring. Let's get a little bit of more water in the Petal Apothecary. Is a Rune of Spring, 2 lime green, 1 normal green, 1 yellow, and a redstone root, which I have actually seemed to use. So I probably ended up accidentally using it or using it in another recipe. That is no big deal. We have plenty of it because I always stockpile ingredients. And boom, slam dunk that in. And we get our Agricarnation. Now, to start off with this, I want to add the Spectrithinum right there. And it says to click the block, or to click the flower, then go over to the block you would like it to teleport to, and I'm thinking right like here might be a good central location between the trees, and click there, right? So it's, hold on, let's go back to the Spectrithinum. Mana, fabric, teleporting somewhere else in the world after teleporting once, In order to specify where we want to go, we're on the forest, use bind mode to the block somewhere, specifically, similarly binding it to a pool. This only works within 12 blocks. In order to view the block as flower bed. Oh. 12 blocks. 12. That really ruins the plan. That is a lot farther than 12 blocks. And if I just put it over here, it might as well not even be worth it because I can just jump across. That's probably not worth it. That really puts a dampening on the plan, but we can still put the Agricarnation. Oh wait, nope. The Polydesiac over here, the Agricarnation over there, and we can still fill up this area, honestly, with the other types of mana generation, which we have, which we might just start using we might start using the cake flower over there for now as sort of a preliminary test round to see how well it can keep up. So let's bring it over here. Let's plop down that mana spreader right there. And then throw that into a pool, put the Kekamoris behind it, make sure it is all bounded up together. Wait, did my wand stop working again? It's exactly why I have 2 wands, because one just randomly stops working, so make sure they're all binded up, and this one stops working as well. Hello? Hello? Come on! Why do you break on me like you do? Why? Why do you do this? Okay, whatever. So, we can make a cake, throw that there, and then see how these all work, but these are all mature crops. So let's do some harvesting, and then we can actually see it. Now, there is a gap in there, because I actually thought that we might end up planting it in there instead, but, as it came out to be, we didn't actually plant it in there due to reasons because, well, mana generation is just easier to get it over there. Although, I know there is a different way to transport items in the mod, which we might end up looking into next time we do a Botania episode. I believe it uses the mana spreader and the lenses, and I've never used the lenses before, so that'll probably be a very interesting episode, just to learn how to use the lenses. I'm pretty sure there's a lens that can move items around and like a whole bunch of stuff. Like you can move blocks with lenses and mana spreaders. You can use pylon type things. There's a whole bunch you can do with all of the cool stuff in Botania. And you know, it's a long and arduous quest and task to actually get over there and try and figure it out and do all the cool stuff. Alright, so let's make a cake, throw it down, and see what type of stuff we're dealing with here. Hopefully it... Hello? Excuse you? When did you get here? Don't... I wasn't even near you. I wasn't even near you and you're blowing up everywhere. I don't want to deal with that right now. I really wonder how he got there. F4, get rid of the torches. Well, that's because he just blew up a torch. Okay, so he spawned over here. Jeez. Okay, so we want to make a cake. We want to make a pretty cake. And so we're going to grab that. Go like that. Go and grab ourselves the cake recipe from NEI. And the sugarcane, the cake, the transfer items, and we got ourselves a cake. And we have enough supplies to just bring the cake back over there and repeatedly make cakes. So it should be easy. It should be pretty easy to make cakes. It's not going to take that long, especially with the Agrichorus or whatever it's called, speeding up the crop growth. It really won't be a problem. So let's place cake there. You eat, right? You're going to eat. You're eating. You're generating mana. You two should be getting the mana. You are not getting mana. Do I have to bind you? The wands are broken again. I can click the air all I want, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to do work on the blocks that I want them to do work on. This is getting really frustrating with how often they are breaking. This is why I made a second wand, and I'm seriously considering that I'm going to have to make a third wand. Really hope I don't have to make a third wand because, well, it's not that hard, but it's still very annoying that I have to keep switching wands like this. So, no, you're still not working. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick relog. Just 1 second. So I made a third wand. I did it. Now it works. Everything is working. Goody, and it is definitely making the crops grow faster. It doesn't have to be a massive range, but any range is a good range. And the Polydesiac should be working. Yeah, you're full of mana. You should be working. You should be making the babies now. Should you not? Polydesiac. Let's read up on it. Polydesiac will any appropriate nearby food items. Oh, will appropriate nearby food items and will be fed to the animals, putting them in a better mood. So you have to throw it the wheat first? Yeah, you have to throw it the items first. Okay, so maybe... Okay. Yeah, so you have to throw out the items first for things to actually get bred by the Polydesiac. Okay, that's gonna be it for this episode. Let's just go over. Let's go over today. Spectrum flower. Didn't work as I wanted it to. Was way too short. We could probably still put a use to it, but that was way too short. The Polydesiac flower has to be fed items. So at that point, if I'm standing right here, I'm just going to end up throwing it at some items. And if I'm not feeling lazy, which I'm already over here anyway, I'm just going to give the cow... Wait, are they going to always be in the mood? Are they... Hold on, does it breed every cow anyway? Or is it just the ones that are breedable? Just the ones that are breedable, okay. So if I'm over here anyway, I'm just gonna give the cows and stuff what they want to eat instead of throwing it at the flower. So I'm going to chalk this up as the only success today was the Cacamurus and the Agricarnation, and that's sort of sad. I usually have a higher success rate than that, but that's what Botania's all about, is finding out what the flowers do, having a little bit of a mess around, possibly failing, possibly succeeding. We did a little bit more failing than succeeding this episode, but that doesn't really hurt me, you know, it was all for fun. We figured out what stuff does, we came up with a little bit of a new mana generation thing. It should be a lot easier to get more mana now that we can just feed the Cacamurus a whole lot of cake, now that we have a whole bunch of cake at our disposal. But that's it for this episode, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, stay fancy. Oh wait, and we did the stuff, and we did the size stuff too. Remember, stay fancy, and peace out. Bye-bye.